broadcast live.
Hey. I'm touching me on the floor. I pray to God every month. Lord, I ain't broke anymore. Ain't living life like before. You say I did all this shit on my own. 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 Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am standing here with one of my big brothers, and I mean that in the most literal form. I've known this guy since way. If anybody was to ever say I stood the test of time, this guy definitely stood the test of time, because I used to look up to this guy in one way or another. He goes by the name of Dimplez. He's in charge of a lot of properties, but the most important one right now that we're going to talk about is his career. Fam, we're talking about brands that have stood the test of time, and I've got 3 questions for you. The first one would be, where would you say it actually really all started for Dimplez? Where do you think it was? And I don't mean that in like, I mean that in like many different ways, whether it was your first party, your first crush, your best friend, or I don't know what it is, but where would you really think it actually really all started for you?
I think there's like a couple of phases to that, and they all were their own beginnings, you know what I'm saying? First beginning was probably when I started doing house parties with my boys, and it would be like someone's house party and I'd be the guy that steals my dad's computer. I connect, I play the songs.
I hope your dad don't want Slick on live.
Oh no, he knows.
He knows you stole his.
I told him, graduation, you know, you had to bring it out. Like, yo, dude, I'm here because of that, you know? And then 2 would be when I joined the Vits DJ Society. That's where I met the connects, your spares, your milkshakes, your Monday, and then we started working together. Yeah. And then we got on. Then I got on. Jesus, too long, man.
Wait, was those were those the Mammoth parties and all of those? What was that spot in Melville? There was a couple.
Yeah, there was a lot, man. There was a lot. So we do those. So with Vits DJ Society, we do those parties around, do after parties for, you know. And then my second beginning was Rhyme and Reason. Then I knew it was real. Then it was okay. Now it's real. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, different phases, man.
In terms of all the stuff that you've been through from then up until now, who would you say was your greatest sample? And by that I mean, like, who would you say was the greatest person or the greatest artist or the greatest DJ or the greatest individual that you ever sampled from, whether it be by your persona, your business mind, your ethics, your whatever it is that makes Dimplez right now?
It actually took me a while to figure this one out, because I've always said I'm solo. I'm not influenced. No one. I don't look up to anyone per se, because when we did the hip hop thing, it was probably Waxy, Naked, C-Live, but we were all on the. They started before, but we were all on the same level type of thing, because they would come to our campuses. We'd go to those YFM parties or whatever. But the time I realized who my real icon was probably a year ago, and it was Oskido. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Oskido is like.
I got you, fam.
Yeah, man. Oskido's like, he's genuine. He's a DJ. When you think of his other businesses, you don't even think of it. Doesn't even come up. He's an actual DJ. He brings up people. He pushes music. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm sorry, man. Between him and Fresh, but for me, when I stood next to Oskido the one gig, I was like, actually, this dude is the dude.
I can respect that, and I understand why.
And the hip hop slots he had on his shows.
Yeah. Respect. They both had hip hop slots on both their shows, actually.
But the main hip hop slot came from Oskido, if you think about it.
What was that? Rapactivity, huh?
Rapactivity Jam, yeah.
With that being said, what would you say it takes, or what would you say is that one thing that makes you relevant and makes you stand the test of time as a person who's been there in the beginning since then, who's here right now, and who's going to be here in the future? What would you say it actually is that gives you that willpower or the ability to actually stand the test of time? And in closing, what is the future of Dimplez and everything else that you work on?
I think for me, like I said in the start, I didn't really look up to anyone until a couple of years later. So I've never competed with anyone. I've always competed with myself. And for me, not seeing what I'm trying to do, but doing it has always worked for me. So that's me, man. Right now,
So do you?
I do me, dog. Like, if I think of something, I'll do it. Whether things go bad or whatever, I'll do it and I'll finish it off. I'll make sure it's done. And then with regards to
Your future.
it's still going to be DJing, but I am doing a lot of background stuff. I'm handling an artist right now. Her name is Faith K.
Please tell us about Faith K. How did that happen? Why would you want to get into that side of the business? I mean, I feel like you've dealt with hip-hop in all the scales. Like, you've been in the rap camp yourself. You've booked rappers before yourself. And with all the, with all the madness that we have in this business and with all this craziness, why would you say you actually got into that, and what is the side of the business that you're into right now?
I think for me, it was like you need to understand Faith K first. You know what I mean? Like, other girls come in becoming rappers or this is what they want to do. She's just pure personality. Like pure personality. You put her in a space, she adapts, she does that. So like, even with the rapping stuff, like she said she wants to make music, she didn't know what type of music. Got her into studio, she did that, and then started finding herself, you know what I mean? And it was just natural. It wasn't, she didn't force it. She didn't say, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a singer. Everything just fell in place. Just like my own career, everything just fell in place. You know what I mean? So I think I work better with people like that adapt. You put them in a situation, they adapt. And I think that's why I work with her, and I think that's why she's going to go far. She's only been in the game for a year, and she's already performing on big stages, so I can see a lot coming out of her, man.
Is this the beginning of the Pop Bottles record label?
That's been
Pop Bottles Records.
It's actually,
or is it Pop Records?
It's actually called Daewoo.
Oh wow.
Records. Daewoo doesn't really mean anything. It's rendezvous.
Yo, that's the best explanation for any AKA.
The last part of rendezvous, because rendezvous is normal. It's a normal name. You'll find a lot of companies with that, and I was like, okay, Daewoo.
That's the end of the conversation. I'm not gonna fuck this up.
In the club and step on the couch and then we touching me on the floor. I pray to God every moment. Lord, I ain't broke anymore. Ain't living life like before. You say I did all this shit on my own. Did all this shit on my own.
Broadcast live